And this is just a quick catch up on all of the content that not only that I created yesterday, but then also some more content that I've created. Just going to show you that it's all waiting my downloads to go through. I've had about 500 so far, so thank you so much for everyone that's downloaded some of the content. I hope you've enjoyed it as much as I did creating it. I have a WWE2k19 official gaming hangover today. I was up till 4 AM last night creating content, so I am shattered. But I've got at it today, got back on it, got some content for you. So I'm just going to show you basically everything that I've created so far in the creation section of WWE2k19. I've also added the comment section now, made it so if you want to ask any questions, if you've got any opinions or thoughts, just share them here. And we can talk, we can respond. I'll just respond live to you as we go. Anyway, so yesterday, superstars haven't changed much. I've got basically the same superstars that I had yesterday. Oh, I actually added a Big Boss Man attire. I don't know why, but this year they took out his 1998 attire, so I went in and added that. Kama Mustafa has been one of my sort of popular cores. It was popular last year. It's doing quite well this year. It's his Nation of Domination attire. Obviously, you've got the Giant. The Giant in WCW. I really don't understand why they can't just throw in some of the core weird hairstyles that you can add to any wrestler. It would make sense that you could just drop it on his head, give him a bit of that like big afro that he had as the Giant. It would make such a difference to the game and the creation suite. Same with Booker T. I'd love to shorten his hair because his hair was never quite this long. But again, I've gone and created him in his Harlem Heat outfit. The problem with WWE 2K19 is that they have not looked after Booker T. You cannot have Booker T's audio on there as a ring announcement. All it announces is, I think mine's something weird like Morgan B or Morgan T or something like that. But it's not Booker. They haven't put the word Booker on the game, which really shocks me. And then when I looked at the attire for his boots, they've actually called it Rooker T instead of Booker T. So WE, hopefully, if you listen to this, if you hear wind of it, message them, get them to change it, because it would be awesome if we could actually get the audio of Booker on the game. So I've just had a little message saying that the internet connection quality is low, blah blah. If it drops out, I apologize, but I'm gonna fight through. So that's the superstars that I've created. Let's just jump back, appreciate this song for a moment. Movesets, I haven't done any yet. I had loads stacked up last year from 2K18. I'm actually gonna go back into WE2K18 soon and just take screenshots of all of the movesets, because I'm a real stickler for that. That's really important for me when I'm playing the game. Part of my simulation is having movesets that actually feel and look like the real characters. Not to gloat, but my Bret Hart and my Sting movesets in particular were unbelievable. They were so accurate. I went on YouTube and watched loads of videos, just sort of took notes on his top moves and added those in. I did it for a load of the guys. Scott Hall as well. I've readjusted Scott Hall's signature move with his finish, it's the Fallout Slam and the Choke Slam. The Choke Slam was not his signature move. The Fallout Slam, everyone knows the Fall Away Slam, sorry, was his signature move. So I've switched those out. That was popular last year, so I'm going to add that soon. Okay, entrances I haven't even touched. Championships, I've added some new ones as well. So let's just go to custom. Oh, shouldn't have done that. Should have gone to edit. Let's just go into edit and show you what I've done. Okay, so this is the list so far. What I've done, and I'll explain this because you're going to see some belts here that you're like, why has he duplicated those? They're already on the game. The way that I do my universe mode is that I have my normal major title, which would be like the WE Championship belt would be the major title. And then I have like the Intercontinental, blah, blah, blah. But for ECW, for WE, and for WCW, which are my three, I actually have another belt which I call the ECW title, or the WCW title, or the WWE title. And these are like the I would say, the representative of the company. So, for example, Stone Cold is usually like a token belt that I give to people in the company that draw. So for WCW, it's usually Sting, and then for ECW, it's usually someone like CM Punk. But I haven't even downloaded him yet, so he's not on there. Okay, let's get at this. So women's divisions, like I said, ECW are big in my universe, so it's important that I have women's titles. I'm really surprised they don't have the women's title for WCW on the game already, but I created that one. That's actually proven to be quite a popular one this year so far. I'm getting quite a few downloads for that. Check that one out. That's actually on Community Creations, which I'll go into later anyway for you. But then you've got the ECW Women's Championship as well. I like them to look similar. I love the fact that I love utilising the Universal Tag Belt as the sort of template for these. I just think it looks really nice, but I hope you agree. They've got their own little unique looks to them. The ECW one's a bit more messy, a bit more colourful, because it would be. WCW, I think blue and gold for me really represents sort of the retro colours of the organisation, but also gives the women a blue colour rather than pink all the time. So Intercontinental title, I have a real frustration about this on WWE2k19, on all of the 2K games actually. They have 15, that's an exaggeration, Intercontinental belts, and what happens is when you try and go into them, all of them have different historical records for the belt winners, the previous belt winners and title holders. I hate that, because it seems to be different for everyone instead of just the same for all of them, because it obviously runs up to the time of that specific title. But even then it's not consistent, because the 94 Intercontinental title usually just has 2 or 3 holders, previous holders, whereas if you go to the WE Intercontinental belt, that actually has the whole list of all of them, so it doesn't really make sense or add up. Anyway, I created a new version with the new WE logo on top. It's literally a straight swap out for the Intercontinental belt. I personally like the black strap. I really think that it's a classic looking belt, and it looks better with the black strap rather than the white one that they've currently got. So I use that for my Intercontinental title in my WE Raw Universe mode. Universal Tag Titles, I think that's self-explanatory. I use it every year. It's meant to cross all the different brands. It's a great tag title. I think it looks really slick actually, the white, the black and the gold. It's got the tag team title banner, which seems to be the sort of relief that they're using for all of them now for Raw and SmackDown. So I use it for this. I really like it as well. I think it's a nice minimalistic look, so go and download that. Next one, okay, next big deal, there's 2 of them here, Cruiserweight titles. For some reason unknown to mankind, WE2K do not think that Chris Jericho was ever in the Cruiserweight division. They don't seem to remember that Eddie Guerrero and Rey Mysterio were in the Cruiserweight division, which means they can't win Cruiserweight titles. It makes no sense to me, but that's how it is. Even though they're lightweights, they're light heavyweights, which is essentially as a cruiser in the wrestling. They can't win Cruiserweight titles, so what I have to do is duplicate both titles on the roster. So the way around it is to make it a non-Cruiserweight title, but give it all the Cruiserweight title names, if that makes sense. This way, Jericho can win it, Guerrero can win it. Usually I get Dean Malenko on here. Rey Mysterio is definitely going to be on there. Billy Kidman as well is another guy that I like to throw into the Cruiserweight division, along with all the Lucha Libre wrestlers from back in the day. X-Pac is usually basically my holder for the whole time. For the WE one, I don't have too many. I should really add Taka Michinoku to that division, because that would be fun to have him this year. So that's those belts. Which ones am I not being through? So the WCW World Television title, I went and created that today. That is the best one that I've made. I made one last year and it was sort of so-so, but I feel like each year I'm getting a bit closer. This year I've actually used I'd say 85% of the exact parts that were needed for this belt, so I've really tried to nail it in terms of authenticity. As far as me, this is actually the first bout that I've ever gone into Photoshop and created an element for the bout as well. So that was a new thing for me to try and do, and I really enjoyed that. It was a lot easier than I thought it would be. To be honest, I was probably just too lazy to do it in the first place, but it's on there now. I think it looks really fun, so go and download that if you want to. And then that's it. So that's all the belts. I'm going to create probably, I think I've got about 5 or 6 more on my list that I'm due to create, so keep an eye out for those as we go along with 2K19. Next one then will be the shows. Now I'm going to kind of cover shows and arenas together because I've literally done a show for every arena that I've created. It makes sense that I just show you all of them at the same time rather than go through 2 sets of the same information. Now I'm really proud of my arenas, so I'm going to go into each one and actually show you what they look like. But the way that I've worked this year is I wanted to do a 1997 pack for WCW, so that's now finished. As you can see, I don't know why there's no pictures for these, but they are on there, I promise. So we've got Fall Brawl, the Great American Bash, Road Wild, Slamboree 97, Starrcade 97, and World War III 1997. So I've also added Bash of the Beach 1996 because that's such a significant time in WWE and in WCW and in wrestling history, in my opinion, that I always add that onto the game, and it's relatively simple to make. So let's just jump into these and have a look at them. So I'm going to show you a full preview of each one. That way you can just see exactly what I've used and all the elements involved. So this is Bash of the Beach 1996. Obviously a little bit of water. I created my own logos for all these events as well, so if you want those you're going to have to download them from me, or unless somebody's worked out a way of stealing them from me, I don't know. Yeah, I used the sort of 90s graphic on this one, not quite sure why, but that's what I thought would work. So that's the one I've gone with this year. I may change that at some point, but for now I think I'm okay with what it is. Okay, here's Bash of the Beach. The big thing that I changed here actually was the ring ramp. The ramp to the ring, sorry, was basically, it wasn't wooden, it was green. It was really odd that they thought that grass was appropriate for a beach. So I just went and switched it out for wood, and it looks absolutely perfect now. As you can see, I can't change the logo. I really wish WWE2k would let us change logos on those entrance ways. It would help so much. Also, there's a bit of a fault with this arena. You can't change the video on the War movie. I don't know what it's called, but that massive white movie there with the shark on top, you can't change it. You can't actually add a logo to it. If you make it a movie, it just has the WE logo, and I don't want a WE logo on a WCW event, so I've had to kind of just go with this random white picture that's on there. That's going to have to be changed at some point, but I haven't uploaded this yet, so I'm hoping that by the time I can upload it, they would have sorted out some sort of fix for that. Okay, we've had enough of the phenomenal one because we're going to see him a lot in these. But Bash of the Beach, really simple arena. The standard sort of blue ring that they had. There you go. That's the end of Bash of the Beach 1996. So next one, and this one's downloadable. So Fall Brawl is one of the ones that's downloadable. I've already done a video on Fall Brawl. So what I'll do is just do the full preview so that you can see what it is. But I'm going to kind of skip through it quickly because there is a video of me actually creating this arena on one of the other videos. Just waiting for this to load. Load times, they're still slow, but they have improved. Like, I've got to give WE credit for the fact that they have actually improved what they're doing.
The phenomenal.
Okay, so here's Full Brawl Arena. Again, just tried to take and get it as accurate as possible to how it was back in 1997. So all the logo colours are right. The only difference with the logo is that I've added the WCW NWO logo rather than just the straight up WCW. And that's because they branded everything else with NWO. For some reason they just didn't put it on all of their logos. So there you've got the arena. Again, a lot of them look similar when it gets to the arena. It's the ring itself. The logos, of course, on the mat look a bit different each time, but that's it. Next one, Great American Bash. I'm really pleased with this one. This was a new one that I've created this year. To be honest, most of them are new. I haven't created them before. But the Great American Bash was easy. With the American flags flying around everywhere, it's so easy to create this kind of look and feel. And with that logo that I've created now, it actually matches perfectly with the 1997 arena, which is great because it makes my life as a creator an absolute dream. So I'm just waiting for this to load again. It's unusual looking at this screen so small with the new comment section now that I've had to open up because people have been commenting on my videos and I haven't been able to respond, which is really sad. I'm sorry. Anyway, Great American Bash, here you are. Backdrop, big logo, big flag, that's original from the event itself, but then the screen behind AJ Styles, that was a bit more tilted. It was actually on an angle, tilted backwards, and it was flat. It wasn't curved like that one, but that was the best one I could find that sort of gave me that the same similar height with the video. And also the flag isn't on that. There's some sort of American styled blurred out image which I could never get in a million years if I tried. I could probably create it. I may do that at some point and go back in here and try to recreate that image if possible. So again, skipping through, you can see the arena now has got the logo. I put a bit of saturation on all of mine. I desaturize everything so that way the look and the feel of it feels a little older, a little bit grittier. I actually don't think I added the 90s filter to this one, so I'm going to go ahead and change that now if I haven't. Okay, then you need to keep an eye on that because a couple of the ones that I created don't have the filter. Now, Road Wild is another new one, so you can't download this yet, but the hope is that you will be able to soon. I really enjoyed creating Road Wild last year for 1997, but I really didn't feel like I created the arena as authentically as I should have. So this year I've jumped on and I've changed a couple of things. I think the load screens, you always have to forgive the fact that they're never going to look quite right. But you just have to sort of pick the best possible one that suits the kind of style of the event that you're in. The first thing I did is that I changed the event arena to evening time rather than night time. So it's an outdoor arena, obviously, but I've changed it to the evening because actually in the original Road Wild, it went from the afternoon right into the pitch black of evening. So this one I've tried to make as close as possible to the original. The only difference here is that there's a couple of differences. One is the big black curtain that didn't exist in Road Wild 97. It was just, all you could see behind it was hills. But because this is in a stadium, I don't think it matters that the black curtain is there. But there was a big screen like that. It wasn't actually a movie screen, it was just a fabric curtain. But I figured, you know what, you should have these videos. These are the things that we can add that make things look really nice. The wall screens as well were actually fabric, so they were just the logo. But again, I don't think it's a problem having the actual movie playing. You can go and change that anyway if you want to. If you'd rather it just stay as the original of what I've made it as just the logos, then that's absolutely fine. I've gone ahead and moved the dirt into the rampway and the stage area as well, because that was part of the original Road Wild venue. I actually think that the ring itself looks probably the best that I've ever created for Road Wild. I think it looks really original. to the event itself. Apart from the fact that Road Wild, because everyone had motorbikes in the audience and there was no elevated seating like you're seeing there, they had to elevate the ring, so it was actually on a platform, which you can't add. But as you can see, that's Road Wild. I actually think it looks pretty cool and very close actually to the original. So I'm really pleased with that one. I can't wait to get all my downloads done so that I can actually get Road Wild onto the upload list, onto Community Creations. Slamboree next. We're almost at the end of these now, so you would have seen both the shows and the arenas. Let's just go straight into this. Again, load screens are what they are. You're never going to get it perfect to the arena. The logo for Slamboree I'm very proud of. I created it from scratch based on the original logo that's really difficult to create a logo for. I had to create every single element from scratch. So the Slamboree logo, I went out and found the font for Slamboree. Then I created the WCW NWO logo, created all that, put it all together, came out with this. So this is obviously the arena. It's as close to as it can possibly be. Like the original arena, you would have seen a logo directly behind AJ, and probably the movie would have played either side of him. There were only 3 videos. There was one to his left, one to his right, and one directly above his head. But because they don't offer that in 2K19, I've had to pick this setup because it's the nearest that I can find to getting that sort of 3 image look.
From Gainesville, Georgia.
But I've left the logos on that one, so you can see that the movie doesn't play. It looks very much how it would have at the time. So I'm probably going to actually switch out the Road Wild one because I really do like it when it's authentic. And as much as movies are fun to watch, it wouldn't have happened in WCW. And to be honest, all the roster that I use for WCW, they don't have very good videos, so it's actually better if I just take it out. As you can see, Slamboree logo in the ring. And that one is another one done. Next one is my most popular arena that I've created. That's Starrcade 97. This one does well every year because I just think that people love Starrcade 97. It probably wasn't the pay-per-view it should have been. I think Sting and Hogan have both admitted that they kind of didn't tell their story in the main event as they wanted to, quite the way that they wanted to. They did repeat their main event match. I'm not sure at the event it was at, but they did a much better job at the second time round than they did at Starrcade 97. But Starrcade 97 was still the first match that Sting had had after his sort of year-long storyline of being out of the ring, coming down from the rafters, etc. So I've improved it this year. Last year I had a circle around the Starrcade logo, but actually there was no circle around it in the original. There weren't NWO WCW sort of Halloween Havoc style videos, Minitrons, but there were square Minitrons either side, so I've added those in, same as last year actually, but what I've done is I've kept the logos in for that one, and I hope that you can see that looks as authentic as it can to the original Starrcade 97 arena. Going to the ring itself, again everything is matched as much as I can to the 97 arena. I created that logo from scratch. I added the WCW NWO logo instead of just WCW, and also added the 1997 text beneath the logo as well. So that one's done. And then finally, last one on this section is World War III. World War III was one that I feel people wanted. Last year I created it really late. I actually created it after maybe 5 or 6 months of playing the game, and it just kind of blew up towards the end. I had a few thousand downloads, and I think that would have easily surpassed 10,000 downloads had I have released it early enough. The logo is always a questionable thing for me. Some people like the red and the yellow, so the yellow 3. Other people like the world with just the WCW on. I've gone for authenticity, but I've also added the WCW NWO logo rather than just WCW, but everything else is as close as I could get it. Yes, they have those big screens in the background. It's funny because it doesn't look great, but actually that's how they had it at World War III. Go and check the WE Network. That's where I check all my stuff from, to make sure I get it as close to authentic as I can. So again, you can see I've left the logos in. I think that's the best thing to do. Just leave it nice and plain. It's typical WCW, so I'm leaving it like that. The ring looks nice. Again, as close to the original as I could get it. And we're just going to let this fade out now, and then it's all done. So that's it. That's all of my arenas that you've had a chance to check out. Let's just come back out of here now. I am going to be creating more. I've got 3 ECW arenas that I'm going to be creating. I'm not going to tell you what they are, but there are some good creators that make these arenas. So I'm a bit worried, apprehensive about creating them, because I don't want to sort of step on other creators' toes. But I do believe that I've managed to make some really authentic logos for those arenas, so I'm going to add those soon. Now, arenas you've seen, videos I don't do, victories I haven't touched yet, Money in the Bank, I have done a few Money in the Banks, but to be honest, they're really basic, but I like them. I'm a bit of a minimalist, so I don't like things to look complicated. All of these can be downloaded. You've got a WCW Money in the Bank in case you want that. You've got an NWO Money in the Bank in case you want that. And then finally, I created the original ECW Hardcore Wrestling logo, and then I've put that on the ECW Money in the Bank with a bit of dent and wear to it, just to give a bit more authenticity. I also really love purple for ECW, in case you haven't noticed. So let's just go straight into the uploads now for Community Creations. This will help you see the content that I've actually made and what's available. So you've got Carmen Mustafa, Booker T, the Giant are in there ready to go. The images are filled with 5 images there. A bit of a trick for you. Here are my arenas, which again, I'm really pleased with how they're doing, considering we're less than 24 hours in. I'm really happy with those, but I've got more, so I need more downloads to be able to get more to you. Championships, I've got 5 belts that are there for you to download. I'm not expecting the Intercontinental to get many. I use it for my own universe, and I just put it in here for other people to use. In fact, I may just do something right now with you guys. I'm actually going to take the Intercontinental out, and what I'm going to do is switch in the Cruiserweight title. And the reason I do that is because of what I said earlier. The Cruiserweight titles do not allow you to actually add wrestlers who were in the Cruiserweight division and basically still are Cruiserweights. I guess the WE have just changed it so that they're not in it anymore. So I just kind of use different tags. I mean, I'm really not too bothered today what I use. I guess championship and title, like, I'm really not fussed about these tags. I think people will find them, and because the word Cruiserweight is in the title and WCW, it should be easy enough to find. So that's going to be uploaded now live for you. If you want to see that content, go ahead and download it. So that's done. So that's it for now. And then finally, Money in the Bank. You can see the Money in the Banks are in there. The shows have been uploaded. I really want to be able to download more. I want to upload more, sorry. So please, please, please keep having a look, going through all of my content, taking what you need and what you like. But that's it for now. Thank you so much for spending a bit of your time with me today. If you've got any questions, hit me up on the comment section in YouTube. If you want to message me on Twitter at xharperco or Instagram at xharper.co. That'd be awesome. Thank you, and I will see you soon.